Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers. Oh man, this is one of those stories where you might need to have a seat and get a cup of tea or something. Warner Brothers discusses volatile AAA console games will lean into free-to-play and mobile. This story comes by way of GameSpot.com. They got details. Oh, it is what you think it is. During a recent Morgan Stanley speaking event, Warner Brothers Discovery gaming boss J.B. Perrette discussed some of the company's strategy for gaming going forward, and includes more live service, more mobile, and more free-to-play games. This is what he said. We're doubling down on games as an area where we think there is a lot more growth opportunity that we can tap into with the IP that we have and some of the capabilities we have on the studio, where we uniquely position as both the publisher and the developer of games. So we're going to double down where we think there's a lot more growth. I think that's a smart idea from a business perspective. But you got to be very careful with this, because you'll see in the next paragraph, sometimes you can get it really right with a console game such as Hogwarts Legacy becoming the best-selling game of the year, 22 million copies sold, or you can have a stinker like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which was the polar opposite of Hogwarts. So while you may be investing in certain growth area opportunities, you still can make a crappy game and still not sell. So it's not guaranteed that you're going to have success just because you're making a game in a growth market. So what growth market is he talking about? Well, this is where it gets a little bit nauseating. So the plan going forward, he says, is to help reduce volatility by focusing on core franchises and bringing at least some of them to the mobile and free-to-play space, as well as continuing to invest in live service games that people play and spend money on over a long period of time. So they're going to specifically focus on cash grabs. That's my takeaway from that paragraph. That's why it makes me a little bit nauseous, because they want games that you will continue to play and spend money on. So you can design a game to do that. You can design live service games to where the people addicted to it feel compelled to spend money on that. We call that pay to win. Or we call that like consumer predator type stuff. Like, there's a lot of names for it, but it's frowned upon in the mobile and free-to-play market as games that are anti-consumer, because you are essentially trying to cash grab. You're essentially trying to cash grab. So, they're talking about some of their core titles, and they even called out a few of them. Popular brands, he singled out Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and DC. So we may see some live service free-to-play cash grabs from Warner Brothers in those areas. Can you imagine a free-to-play cash grab Mortal Kombat where you buy moves? That's right. Or you can grind for 6 days straight to get a move unlocked. I don't know. Maybe you can design a Game of Thrones game where if you play for 6 days straight, you get voice acting. Otherwise, you get text-based. You see where I'm going with this? It's like there's so many things you can do to a game to compel people to pay. So the fact that he said that is disgusting. It really makes me not look forward to what they're going to do here, because there's a fine line between making a good game and making a profitable game. I mean, look at Helldivers 2. You can make a game that's live service and not be a cash grab, be successful and make money from it. It's possible to do, but when you're talking like this, I don't know if it's going to happen. The good news is that we got a little bit of time. This paragraph says, but making games takes time, so Perrette cautioned that the company is laying the foundation now for returns that could come in 2025, 2026, and 2027. So around 2026 or 2027, we may start to see some of these games come to fruition, and we can look back on this article and be like, oh, there's that paragraph. He warned us. He told us it was coming. So if you see a live service or free-to-play game coming out published by Warner Brothers, you might want to look at this with a monocle and a top hat and a glass of wine and go, I don't think I will. Check it out over on GameSpot.com. They got the details. Warner Brothers is talking about making live service free-to-play cash grabs. I wish I was making this up, but it's not looking good for its gamers. in current year and 2026, 2027. Check it out.